Never search your name on the dark web.
Everyone in Hollywood is terrified of Beyonce.
Welcome back to Paranormal Highway. Today, we're checking out some more weird TikToks. But before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you for all the support on the last video. It really means a lot, and I appreciate everyone who's been liking, commenting, and subscribing. You guys are awesome. Alright, let's get the video started.
A telescope just officially mapped 13.7 million objects in the sky that were completely invisible, including an image of 25,000 supermassive black holes. So there is a brand new telescope that is made up of 20,000 antennas that spread across 9 countries in Europe. And it just officially released the largest map of the sky that we have ever seen and created. This entire thing is called LOFAR, and instead of seeing in the universe with visible light like our eyes do, it sees in radio waves, which are obviously a completely different layer of reality that we can't see. They were able to find feeding black holes, exploding stars, and galaxies being bent and warped by jets of energy shooting millions of light years across space. One singular image from an earlier release of this same telescope showed 25,000 supermassive black holes, and it looks like a photo of stars, but every single dot is literally a black hole. Processing all of this data alone, they're saying requires 18.6 petabytes, which is 18.6 million gigabytes, and over 20 million hours of supercomputer time. Not regular computer time, and definitely not a MacBook Neo, but supercomputer. They were able to stitch together the input from 70,000 antennas, combining 13 terabytes of raw data per second, and they're not even done. This was just 88%. We built a telescope the size of Europe, and we just found a universe that we couldn't see.
A telescope the size of Europe? That's pretty cool, but basically there's an entire invisible universe we knew nothing about until now. And those little dots are actually black holes, and there's 25,000 of them. Fascinating, but terrifying.
Lake Michigan. Lots of people swim in it every single year without issue, but then again, a lot of people do drown in it as well. This TikTok video that I got tagged in shows a person hanging out here by the waterfront near Chicago. Here we can see Lake Michigan. The water is extremely choppy. It looks kind of like the ocean, and it says, "This ain't no lake." Well, first off, Lake Michigan is literally a lake. I know that it seems like it might not be because it's so large, but it is. That being said, it's definitely a lot more dangerous and rough than you might typically find in other lakes. Typically, year to year, you're going to have 40 to 50 people that drown in Lake Michigan, which accounts for over half, usually, of all the drowning deaths that take place in the Great Lakes. One of the main dangers of the lake are the currents, which can be quite unpredictable, especially the structural currents, which are going to be found by the piers, docks, and quays that jut out into the lake that people jump off of to swim from. So if you're not a strong swimmer, I would definitely not recommend jumping into the lake. And of course, it goes without saying, but you should definitely be paying attention to the current lake conditions because it's going to vary hour to hour, day to day.
Well, I guess I won't be going to any lakes anytime soon, not if they have currents like that.
So I have a theory, and once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Everyone in Hollywood is terrified of Beyonce. And if you don't believe it, watch every award show. Someone wins, they grab the mic, and somehow Beyonce gets thanked. They don't even thank their producers, the team, their mom. Is strictly just Beyonce. Even when she's not nominated, even if she didn't do any work on the project, even when she's just sitting there. And if you notice how they say it, nervous laughs, shaky voices, long pauses, like they're all checking a box. Because here's the pattern. Artists who thank Beyonce keep winning, and artists who don't suddenly disappear from the spotlight. Now let's talk reaction. Every time the camera cuts to Beyonce, the room goes silent and people freeze. Celebrities look like students who forgot their homework. She doesn't even have to speak. And Beyonce never claps first. Now before you say I'm crazy, is she powerful? Yes. Is she influential? Of course. But ask yourself this. Why does it feel less like respect and more like tribute? All I'm saying is nobody wants to be on her bad side. So watch the next award show carefully.
This is so weird. Like, they ignore every other person in their life and immediately thank Beyonce like their life depends on it. Feels like there's something going on behind the scenes. But what could it be?
They put it right in your face. This statue in New York, a reptile pulling a child underground. I really wish I could elaborate on this without getting in trouble, but I mean, I'm sure some of you, I hope, can connect the dots of what I'm saying here. They have a statue in New York of a reptile, an alligator, pulling what looks like a child underground into a sewer. Why? Why? What is the reason? Tell me.
All I have have to say is, if you get it, you get it. They're literally putting it in our faces. It's like we're a joke to them.
Never search your name on the dark web. Most people online think the dark web is just hidden forums, weird marketplaces that sell illegal things, but what if I told you that there's more than strange forums? The creepy part is that supposedly there's a hidden page with all the information about everyone, including yourself, that contains very disturbing information, private things that you've never told anyone, or things that maybe you think to yourself. Like, yeah, that would be absolutely creepy. People claim that they found old addresses, childhood pictures that they've never seen before, and things that you've texted privately or done things that don't want other people to see. If my privacy was on the deep web, I'd be completely disturbed. But the creepiest part is that people that have kept scrolling for hours claim that there are dates next to their names, with dates and times and like events that have never happened, even dates from the future. Most people who have supposedly been able to reach this type of information from the dark web claim that supposedly there's even your death date, like the day that you die. I would not want to see that.
I've seen some pretty sketchy and scary things about the dark web, but what do you guys think? Could searching yourself up really show you stuff you probably don't want to know, or is this all just some creepy rumor? I swear it looked like it was waving. Why was it standing like that? That's not a fox. I'm not even sure it's an animal. Like, maybe it's a skinwalker? And why did it kind of stand like a kangaroo at the end?
This is one of the most infamous Bigfoot stories in history. Back in 1924, a group of gold prospectors on Mount St. Helens in Washington state fired a gunshot at what they thought was Bigfoot. The man who fired the rifle at this Sasquatch-like creature said he hit it 3 times before chasing it down into an inaccessible canyon where he couldn't chase it any further because the canyon was inaccessible. And not very long after this shooting, the gold prospectors were chilling in their cabin when tons of apes just started attacking their cabin. These apes were banging on the doors, they was banging on the walls, and they was chucking giant rocks at the cabin too. And if my memory serves me correctly, I heard that one of the apes was able to stick his hand through one of the holes in the wall before one of the gold prospectors shot his hand and made him pull his hand back out. These prospectors were somehow able to hold off the apes all night long and even leave the next morning. After this, the prospectors were able to contact the U.S. Service Forest and they started an investigation. The rangers investigated the scene and they decided that it could have easily been faked. They said the prospectors could have just put rocks outside the cabin and busted up the walls to make it look like apes had attacked, and they could have easily faked the giant footprints that they found. And the crazy part is, this is just one of the many stories that come from Mount St. Helens about Sasquatch.
How brave or dumb do you have to be to chase what you think is Bigfoot? And if this is true, sounds like they were getting revenge for them attacking their king. But then again, how are there apes in Washington?
Check this video out, y'all. Clear footage of a 12-foot Sasquatch. Look at him right there. Look at that eyebrow ridge. You can see the nose. Just amazing. Look at that. Let me bring it back just a little bit. Look at that. He's crouched down. Just amazing. Here, I'll bring it back just a little bit again. This is a legit Sasquatch, you guys. You can see the eyes, the mouth, the nose. Look carefully.
I don't know about this one. Looks a little too clear to be real Bigfoot footage. What do you guys think?
David. Yes, I have a lady here with me.
I noticed. Will you take your hands off, David?
Oh, excuse me. We have a young lady here with an I Love Lucy t-shirt on. Stand up and...
Take your hands off her, David.
Oh, excuse me.
I can see the shirt.
So, thought I'd try to... Hi there, we're here
What's your
tonight
name? David, will you take your hands away? What's your name, dear?
Early in the morning.
Give her the mic.
Yeah, I have the question here that I kept...
Before we get into this, praise to that woman, because she knew what he was about. She knew what this industry is about. I wish we could say the same for a certain Holly and Philip, if you catch my drift. And there's plenty more who will turn a blind eye because it potentially could ruin their career and dry up the well of wealth for them. integrity is not important in this industry, remember. But without repeating myself too much, videos like this just show us from the start the industry has always been like that. They just hide it a little bit better now.
It's the fact she kept having to tell him hands off every time he was near a girl. I honestly don't think Hollywood has changed that much. Still lots of creeps hanging around.
All of history before 1600 has been falsified. It's all fake. This is from a guy who is a legendary screenwriter, Roger Avery. He said that all of history before 1600 has been falsified. It's all fake. All of history has been changed. About 1,000 years have been added to the timeline in order to justify land claims. He says that the Vatican, the Romanovs, and other powerful organizations allegedly colluded to erase a massive civilization called the Great Tartaria, visible on countless old maps, along with the Mongols and the Huns. He said that Rome actually fell in 1600, and he said here, when you see how history is constantly being rewritten in real time, it's not so hard to believe. Isn't it? Isn't it, Roger? Isn't it?
So the ancient history we thought we knew was fake, we're in the wrong year off by a millennium because she said they added 1,000 years to the timeline and powerful groups are behind it all. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this turned out to be true.
Don't think about Hollywood. I don't have much further need for Hollywood myself. I don't know how you guys feel, but yeah, I think it's a very strange, funny time where everybody would love to be able to be themselves, but they can't because they must fall in line with the person in front of them. You want to live that kind of life? I wish you the best. I'll be on the other side somewhere, you know.
I think he was saying he has everything he needs, so there's no need for him to keep playing their games, and that everyone just wants to be themselves, but they have to follow the boss's rules. At least that's how I understood it. Comment below what you think he meant.
Yep, the sounds coming from underneath the Nevada desert are not supposed to be there, as something that should not be alive has been found screaming from below, and it knows where we are. People were terrified after a man dropped his phone into a boiling pit in the middle of the Nevada desert where the liquid reaches 200 degrees, hot enough that nothing from this earth can survive it, and yet something down there was trying to lure others by saying "help me" over and over. Haunting reports show the Book of Enoch warns of an abyss sealed deep in the earth with smoke pouring out of it where something was chained and never meant to be released. And if it ever is, it might be the end of everything. And this might be exactly what is happening right now. But it gets much worse as the boiling liquid is being pushed up from below with so much force that it rises above the desert floor, and many are warning that whatever was sealed down there is no longer staying there. Scientists say the sounds are most likely gas escaping through the caverns underground, and for some reason that gas ends up sounding like words.
I'm so dumb, I probably would have thought someone actually fell in. But after watching this, it would make sense if something immortal was down there. They can't end like we could if a normal human were to go in, and that would stop anyone from helping them escape. Why aren't we running away? Why aren't we calling for help? Why do people still live in this place anyways?
If the prediction that Brazilian psychic made about what's going to happen on June 24th in Miami at the World Cup is true, then they ain't playing fair. The psychic from Brazil that has been accurate with a lot of her predictions is doubling down on what she predicted to happen. She claims that on June 24th in Miami at a large sporting event, a mothership is going to appear. And for the first time in history, we're going to witness this. And this mothership that appears, she's saying that this mothership is going to take 700 people. You heard what I just said? She said we're going to watch 700 people, including players on the field, go up into the air. Now, you know how some psychics say they're not 100% sure that their prediction is going to happen. She doubled down on hers. She said that she believes that everything that she's saying is going to happen. She said that this is going to be the moment right here when people are disclosed about aliens, about interdimensional beings, about UAPs, about UFOs. She's saying that time is about to come. Now, if you jump down that rabbit hole and you do your own research, what movie did Steven Spielberg put out today? Disclosure Day, right? And that lines up with what this lady is saying. Now, I'm not saying that this is true. What I'm saying is she believes it's true. What I will say is jump down another rabbit hole. Search Brazil. See about all the things that's been happening in Brazil. And then come back and tell me what you saw. Pay attention.
Well, it's a good thing I won't be in Miami anytime soon, but could you imagine the chaos this would cause? An alien mothership just showing up out of nowhere and taking 700 people. What do we do in that situation? We've reached the end of the road for today. Which one of those TikToks was the weirdest to you? Let me know below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to keep the high beams on. I'm your host, and I'll see you back on the Paranormal Highway very soon.